estudyante. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
He's joking.
Who are you and why are you not taking me to work, madam?
I'm the school nurse.
What's your name, Miss School Nurse?
I'm Miss Aiza Braga.
Aiza Braga. Yes, welcome.
I'm Anicoche. I'm the artistic director of Sipat Lawin Ensemble, a contemporary community performance company and a contemporary performance community. We used to be a theater company, but we now use the idea that we are a performance company because theater is just one of our languages that we use in creating performances.
シパットラウィンのアンサンブルの、まず設立作る際の、組織のイメージっつったらいいのかな、いわゆる劇団なんか高速の固い劇団ではなくてもうちょっとコレクティブというか、なんかそういうイメージを持ってるんですけど、当初からそういう集団を作ろうとしてたんですか、それとも自然な流れでそういうことになったんですか。
First, we just wanted to do a reunion. So once a year, we meet together and stage maybe a Lorca, a Federico Garcia Lorca performance, or which is translated to Filipino, or maybe we joined together to do a French play adapted to Filipino. So very, very traditional. But what we are trying to explore at that moment is how can we work together. We are no longer actors, just actors. We are slowly becoming managers. We are production managers, stage managers. We are trained actors. So most of the artists that we work with are, they're used to having dressing rooms, to have like a good theater. You have a stage manager who will make you coffee. But now, if you want to do theater, you don't have those luxuries. So slowly, it's also like finding a mode of production. How can we make theater that will work based on our reality? Because if I'm working in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, when do I do the things that I want to do? So we started like, okay, let's rehearse from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. But as long as we wanted, we were very passionate. We were very young, I think. We were much younger. We were 19, 20 at that age. And we commit because we wanted to do that. But at the same time, we know that eventually we address the idea of sustainability. Slowly, we started developing a culture in our ensemble, that of a circle, that everybody has to find their voice. But it took us years to share the same orientation. What we think about theater, why performance is important, why we call our practice, why we refer to ourselves as artists, as social being. That's different than just being an artist. Artist as a social being, that's our question. So eventually, from being very young and just wanting to do theater, you eventually wanted to do theater that is important, that is necessary, that can do something. So, but in the I think the imagination for us is, to continue doing what we love doing, and not depend on anyone. So it took us years to find how do you do that? How do you do that? Yeah.
じゃあまあきっといろんなところで何回も説明してると思うので、バタリア・ロワイルに関しては、簡単に説明申し訳ないですけど、簡単に説明してもらって、でそれを上演することによって、JK さん自身が分かったこと、感じたことっていうのを教えてもらえますかね。
So Batalya Royale is this interactive live action game that we created in 2012. It's a live action game because with the idea is to engage more people in the theater. If we call it a play or a theater performance, maybe people will not come. It was one of the first intermediate performances, not just here in Manila, but in Asia or in different parts of the world. There is an online and on-ground performance. So online, we created Facebook accounts for all the characters. And they were interacting. We used that for story development, not for marketing. So just because the challenge is how do you get 40 actors to develop a play in 1 month? We have one character on stage, and the audiences will decide if they want the character dead or alive. So the host will ask, do you want him dead or alive? So people shout, die, die! People shout, no, live, live! And for all those nights. So whoever is the loudest and like bigger clamor will win. And most nights, some people want the character dead. When we did it for the third run, because we had 4 runs, when we did it for the third run, because the audiences are familiar, they know that there's that scene. So we added another provocation. Call it a provocation, where the audiences will decide after 14 deaths if they want the show to stop. If they want the show to stop. If you have 2/3 of the audience say stop, the show will finish. We have an ending for that. If they think it's too violent and they want to finish. But if they want to continue, we will continue. So we never, the performance always continued. A lot of people tried to stop the show and a lot of, it created a controversy in the academy, but we all know that it's a monster of a performance. It opened a lot of questions about theater, but more importantly about morality and mortality. But if there's one thing that I learned from it, looking back, that I really understand now, that's when we totally decided we want to become a community theater company, performance company. I realized that it's not because people don't want to be in the theater. It's just that there were no platforms for people to be engaged in the theater. Or it's just that people from the theater don't go to where the people are. So it shifts, so it creates that humility as an artist, that we were there. I mean, I'm an artist, come on, go watch my show. That's not the language anymore. So again, so you have to understand, survey how we're feeling, how we're thinking, how we're doing now. And it shifted the way we make things. It's crazy. Go on, nagay.
バタリア・ロワイヤルを経て、よりそれまで以上に、 コミュニティに入っていくっていうことに、入っていくことの重要性をそこで学んだという話があって、でその後の作品としてガバメントの、作品
Scene 1, take 1, urban planning.
あの作品を、作ろうとしたきっかけっていうのは何だったんですか？
I think again, after engaging so many audiences and people in the community, it led us to asking, because our earlier works are about awareness, it's about, it led us to asking, can performance inform the social or the community, society, and can society inform the way we create performances? Is performance really, is it really potent? Is it really fertile with, is it really effective in shifting or in shaping society? So is it possible to create a venue where people can imagine, collectively imagine ideal governments? And can those imaginations of people inform the way we make policies? So that's the next challenge for us. I just don't want to end with only awareness. I'm tired of just making people aware. Because performance is about moving. And we always blur performance and performative everyday. We perform in our everyday. It's not enough to be aware. You have to move, you have to do something. It has to be an action leading towards something else, be it in performance or performative everyday. So I'm in the process of shifting along with Sipat Lawin Ensemble. It's a composition of time and space. Paano mo i-compose ang time? Paano mo ikukwento ang 100 years of solitude? 100 years, ang 5 segundo sa spasyo, which is the performance.
ディレクションラボラトリーを見学させてもらってあれとても面白い教育といえばいいぴったり合わないんですけどいいコミュニケーション演出っていうものに関してのコミュニケーションの場所だなって思いました。でそういったシーパトラインのワークショップも含め、場所自体がとても素敵だなと思ったんですよね。 でああいった環境をこう持っているっていうことに関して僕は羨ましいとさえ思います。
It is also a venue that is very important to a lot of artists who started creating work with Sipat Lawin there. So every time they go there, it's like coming home, and or when they're really distressed or really sad about the current state of their art making, they go there and it has that energy of like, okay, when we're stripped down to almost nothing, with no lights and everything, it's still possible to create. I think it serves as a reminder for us that very basic, that very bare. I wouldn't know. I'm thinking, because I always do counter referencing. So maybe if we have just one space where there's a black box, so we can do traditional work and then really contemporary work, and and compare the dynamics so that we learn from each other. Maybe that's a possible addition, but at the same time, I don't know. I like its bareness. It's being scarce. It's a humble place. It doesn't have the arrogance of a theater space. Pintawan niyo po ano yung pinaka-essential ng eksena. Okay, para pagkano natin, ma-discuss natin.
Teka, akala ko ba hindi natin pag-uusapan ng kanina kahapon o yung mga nangyari noong unang panahon? Okay, ngayon. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon.
Hoy, tignan mo, may bear!
Wag mong gawin yan.
Bakit? Hindi pa ako nakakakita ng bear. Hindi naman ako makaipit yan, no?
Anong hindi? Yung bunso kong kapatid na si Lulubel, nagpasyal dito.
Or old gentleman for grocer and grocer's wife na maglilid dun sa monologue.
Okay, so ang challenge mo
いろんな人に演劇あるいは、演出を教えてる仕事もたくさんしている。その比較的若い人たちに、教えることが多いと、少なくとも僕よりかは全然多いと思ってるんですけど、そういった機会は、進んで、得ようとしているのか、それと、そういう場所で得られるものっていうのは何か教えてもらえますか？
And last year I was teaching basic acting. But my practice outside teaching is very advanced. Sipat Lawin Ensemble is like unlearning what we learned in school. But here I'm teaching in school, I have to teach them the formal training. But I understand that, I have to do that so that eventually they know what they can destroy. So it's there's that push and pull over there. But I also understand that teaching in these universities and bringing your sensibilities as a performance maker is also part of creating a network or developing a wide range of artists who will eventually pursue the kind of performance that we have been practicing. Because contemporary performance for me is not alternative. It's a way of making. But if we have more artists who are engaged there, maybe we can get more support. It's as valid as heritage. It's as valid as traditional theater, because we can debate that. I can tell that it's more important or less important, but it is important to our lives now, and it's constantly evolving. And so that's why I think it's still important to continue these kinds of work.
Ang pag-ibig ay isang digmaan! Alaala, lamig, init, tanaw, alin, sino, sa mga Diyos na ito, alaala, lamig.
えっとまあ、フィリピンに関する本に載ってたんですけど、フィエスタってお祭りがあるんですよね。でそのお祭りの中で、コメディアっていう芝居、まあ、地方によってはもろもろって聞いたんですけど、って呼ばれる歌舞劇、歌って舞う歌舞劇があると。でそれは400年を超える歴史を持っているっていうふうになんかある本に書いてあったんですね。でそれはコミュニティ演劇であって商業的なもんでなくて、家族主催する家族家系っていうのがあって、でその家族が、近所から人とかお金とか集めて、上演するっていう、まあ演劇のジャンルといえば大げさかもしれないですけど、スタイルとしてあるって聞いたんですけど、もちろんシーパット・ラウィン・アンサンブル並びにその JK さんがやってることっていうのはもちろん表現アウトプットとしての表現はとてもコンテンポラリーなものをされてると僕も思うんですけど、一方でその組織の在り方であったり、あるいはその、活動内容をプロダクションの一つ一つを見てみてもなんとなくこれにつながるそのフィリピンの演劇史の、まあ、深い部分につながるものを僕個人的には感じます。それはどう思いますか？間違ってますかね？それともなんか分かってもらえますかねっていう。
My first experience watching a performance is in a barrio, in a village. It's inside a church. It's Sunday, and all the people in the barrio, my grandmother's barrio, they all go to the church, and so the priest is there. They give the sermons, amen, and I think I was 4 years old or 5 years old, and the priest after the mass will announce that, okay, you have to stay because the youth committee prepared a special performance in commemoration of the hero who died in this town. And so please stay, and bang! I was so shocked that suddenly the doors of the church were like bang, and people are running with their guns, and like my cousins were slowly wearing their costumes and having all their knives and like going like there's a revolution, shouting "Mabuhay Revolution!" and they're running to the center of the church, and you're surrounded by that energy and that I remember running around the church and seeing like, oh, I know these people, these are my relatives, but they're not. I don't know what character is at that time. I was just 4 years old, and like they were saying this thing that long live the revolution, and I remember them. There's this one woman who was like our neighbor, crying and pretending to be the mother of a soldier dying, and that is my first experience of a theater. It's by a community, in a community, and you are surrounded. It's visceral. It's physical. It's they don't have props. They just have a drawing of a house in a cardboard, and that's in a church in a poor town, and they created that one. So I always go back to that experience. Aside from what I learned in school, that of Moro and Comedia, and how people gather together to create that. Theater, in that sense, becomes a testament of people's aspirations, of people's dreams, of what we call now the collective imagination. Of how they want to see their lives, or how they want to remember things, how they want to tell their stories together. But it's and of course it's also our that's why it's important to continue to go on because people don't in a country where they don't see theater as a possible profession or a way of life. But then you have and you're talking about this ideas and and you work with very generous people who almost have nothing but their energies and their talent. So it has to be worthwhile. It has to be, and then we should break those walls. We should go back to the communities. As much as people are saying, no, that's not theater, that's social work, and say, so be it. Because theater is social, as much as I know. And I'm just, I always have this feeling that I'm in a hurry to articulate or to present or to represent what is going on now, contemporary times, and be there in the theater, in the performance, or in that space of performance. So, but yeah.